Guys, I am in Katusa, Oklahoma, waiting to get unloaded. Man, the weather's been crazy today. Off and on rain, calling for stormy weather, hailstorms, tornadoes, that sort of thing. But anyway, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know I was in this exact place last Wednesday about this time. And Maverick's already sent me a deadhead order to go from here to Fort Smith, which is what I expected. But I wanted to show you what this load looks like because I didn't get any footage when I was picking it up. I mean, they're not unloading me yet. I'm in the warehouse, but they're unloading trucks in front of me. But here's what we got. These are called steel angles and flats. See, some of it's flat, some of it's angle shaped. Got two sections of 20 feet, 10 bundles in all. So, and you can see this place, they basically store all kinds of metal beams and sheet steel, just about every size and width, length, big time construction stuff. So, anyway, just wanted to show you that a little bit. You can see up ahead of me there's more trucks that are getting unloaded already. I'm just waiting my turn. I actually have to pull up further to get unloaded, but that's what it looks like in here. When I get to Fort Smith, maybe I'll have time. Hopefully it's not storming weather, but I'd like to be able to talk to some other drivers. I always find that interesting. So, more later. Well, that was a first, guys. I mentioned earlier there was some bad weather around here. Right before they started unloading me, everybody started scrambling around, and somebody came over and told me that they were all going to the tornado shelter, and that if I didn't go, it was at my own risk. So I went on in there, and you know, all the employees were in there. I don't know, about 30 people maybe, and the whole thing lasted about 10 minutes. Basically they were I think about the time we all got into this little room, the threat got downgraded. So basically they ended up having about a 10-minute company meeting and announced that they were all getting new 30 gallon, I think he said, or 30 quart, I'm not sure, coolers, like Yeti coolers for surviving the winter storms. So that's I think that's the first real tornado drill, not a drill, but my first tornado hideout, whatever you call it. But the funny thing to me is their little tornado room got signs on it and everything, tornado shelter. It's nothing but a metal siding, like your typical metal building warehouse on the end of the building. I don't see why it would be any more secure than any other part of the building. Except that there's not, it's not piled up with steel beams out here. But anyway, that was kind of interesting and something a little different. So they've started unloading me, and then I'll go to Fort Smith. See ya. Hey folks, just arrived here at the Maverick Fort Smith yard. It's about 6:30 p.m. I wanted to give you an update. I had told my fleet manager that I would voluntarily stay out this weekend because I have a special request in for next week to get home on Wednesday, by Wednesday night, because we've got a little fishing vacation planned. And so I was just prepared mentally to stay out all weekend and try to get some miles. Well, after I made my delivery today in Katusa, Oklahoma, they deadheaded me to Fort Smith, and then on the way to Fort Smith, they sent me a pre-plan Picking up a load here at the Fort Smith Maverick yard, going to Warren, Ohio, which is northeast Ohio. Pretty good load, almost 1,000 miles. But the cool thing is it delivers at 11 p.m. on Sunday night, which means I'll be able to get this load Thursday evening, tonight, and then I can drive the 2.5 hours to North Little Rock tomorrow morning and get home, and then be home Thursday and Friday, and then leave out Saturday sometime. You know, it's about a 17 or 18 hour trip of drive time to get up there. They have overnight parking at this place, so I can leave out sometime Saturday, drive, finish it out Sunday. And it's weird that the delivery appointment is at 11 p.m. on Sunday night, which is kind of weird, but this will work out great for me because it'll allow me to go home for a couple of days when I really wasn't expecting to, and then still be in a position, you know, Monday morning to get reloaded and go somewhere and still get home for Wednesday. So this worked out really good. I'm happy. It's worked out great. I like this. So I'm going to prepare to get loaded, and we'll update you later. Okay, folks. Hey, it's a cloudy, cold morning. Man, cold air came in last night. I mean, yesterday was short sleeves. This morning it's like in the low 30s. Cold and kind of light sprinkling. Anyway, just stopped back here at a rest area, do a load check. Everything looks good. Getting back out on the freeway here. Headed back toward North Little Rock. Still got about 2 hours to go. Man, I was just thinking back there. You know, you remember, some of you folks remember back when, you know, a time when things didn't have so many sensors. You know, how did we get along without all these sensors? You know, the sinks, the toilets, all have sensors. You know, I mean, you just move a little bit on the toilet, it flushes. Sometimes it flushes 4 or 5 times. The sink, you know, sometimes you can't get the water to come on the sink because the sensor's not sensing. You know, this truck, I'm going on a sensor rant, by the way. This truck has so many sensors. You know, we have this collision warning sensor. I don't know how that works. That thing goes off 4 or 5 times a day. I'm not close to having a collision. Usually, sometimes, not usually, but several times a day, it goes off and flashes this big red thing, collision warning. Because I'm going under an overpass. You know, there's nothing in the road, but it senses the overpass or a shadow or something. I'm not sure, but you know, there's no collision about to happen. You gotta have sensors to tell you your tire pressure is low. You know, and of course what goes wrong is the sensor goes bad. So then it says your tire pressure is bad all the time. One of my wife's vehicles is like that, you know. Oh well, enough of that, Man, I was just thinking again about that older guy I mentioned earlier that I saw a couple days ago in Birmingham. 79 years old, still out here flatbed. Amazing. And well, let's see, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday when I was in Katusa unloading. There was this lady ahead of me. We were both untarping, unstrapping, preparing to get unloaded, and I went up and talked to her just for a minute. because we were just waiting to move up. And there's another sensor. See, when you switch lanes because of road construction and it sees you going over the white center line, thinks you're doing something wrong when really you're not. You're just following the traffic pattern they've designed. But, you know, it sends off this warning because it senses a problem when there's really not a problem. So anyway, turns out we both were kind of new to flatbedding. You know, I just had my 2-year anniversary. Still hadn't been out here very long. 2 years, not a long time. She looked to be, you know, maybe in her 40s. But she said that she had started out trucking and had done some tanker driving, but got out of that after just 4 or 5 months because she realized the company she was working for was not very safe. You know, they weren't doing things right, like labeling the hazardous placards on the vehicles and things that she knew they should be doing. So she left there and then did postal contract driving for a while. Don't really recall if she said how long exactly, but she did that, and then ended up doing flatbedding. She's only been flatbedding, I think she said, a few months. It seemed to be liking it. She was over the road, countrywide. Mentioned that she had just been to Oregon and had been in New York. I was like, well, you know, we don't really go that far. I'm in the Midwest region with Maverick, although that's a big region. I said, you know, it basically covers everywhere in the U.S. except the Northeast and the far West. It's been my experience so far. Everything else is fair game. But, you know, Maverick does have a USA division that, I guess, goes everywhere if need be. But with that division, you have to stay out a minimum of 2 weeks at a time. And I prefer the schedule at this point that where I'm set to get home every weekend. So anyway, she seemed happy with her flatbedding experience so far, and we both stated that, you know, one of the things we like about flatbedding is that we actually get to do some physical work. You know, we are not just sitting all the time. You know, and I've talked about that before, but she basically agreed with that philosophy, and so did the old timer, you know, the 79-year-old. He likes that he actually gets out and gets some physical activity, you know, as little as it may be. You know, we're talking, I'm talking like we're working out every day, but, you know, we're still only working at the physical loading, unloading, rolling tarps, picking up chains and binders and moving tarps and stuff. That's still only a few hours a week. I mean, there's that sensor again, switching lanes due to road construction. Anyway, you know, it's still probably 6 to 10 hours a week. It's not much, but I do enjoy it. Otherwise, I'd be just sitting here doing nothing, not using my muscles at all. Sitting. So anyway, if you're that kind of person, you think you might appreciate the physical work we have to do as flatbedders, then flatbedding may be the way to go. I remember now what I was going to mention. Man, I heard, talking about the steel industry right now, yesterday morning I heard this talk show on the radio. Don't remember which one exactly, but they had a guest on that was like the president of some steel company. I don't remember the name of, but this person was talking about how the steel industry is really booming right now. You know, they're basically behind in production. They're trying to catch up with production, and the price of steel is going up. And it seems that way to me also out here, just on the low end of things, moving the steel around, because I've noticed at some of the places that we go to regularly, you know, they just seem behind and busier than usual. Like even the Maverick Fort Smith yard, the last few times I've been there just seems to be more trucks there loading. Like the parking lot is full. Like last night of course I didn't get there till late in the afternoon, and in fact I was just kind of joking around, but when the guys finished loading me, I noticed that there was maybe only one other truck in the loading area with me, and I asked them if they still had more trucks to load, and they said no, that I was the last one. You know, and this was probably at I don't remember exactly, maybe 7:30 p.m., something like that, 8 p.m. It might even have been later, I don't recall. Kind of lost track of time, but and I was kind of surprised to hear that. But anyway, I was the last truck they were loading, and I said something about, man, are there any parking spots over there for me left to get? And they said, well, we're going to move these trailers over here kind of on the one side of the building, so I could kind of angle in there and park on it's really the side of the building that's not for drivers to park in, but they were going to kind of make some room just in case. But before I parked there in those spaces, I went on around to the parking side of the building and did find us one spot. So I parked in there, you know, went and got my shower and all that kind of stuff. So it worked out all right. But you know, hey, we need flatbedders is the point here. Steel business is rolling. We need drivers. So you know, if you've been watching my videos and you think you could fit in with you know, what I've been describing, flatbedding might be for you. Hey, Maverick needs you. So hey, send me an email. I usually post my email and some referral information at the end of the videos, but send me an email, you know, and if you want to talk, send me an email, phone number. I'll try to give you a call. We can talk and try to get you moving forward. Hook you up with a Maverick recruiter. They can talk about the specifics of what they might have available for where you live, because that does play a factor, you know, where you live, as to what division they might want to put you in, what might be best for you. They have, you know, sometimes they even have dedicated runs. It might be an option depending on where you live in. So it's just best to talk to a recruiter to see what's going on right now, because I may not know everything that Maverick's got cooking right now and where their greatest needs are. You know, so it's always good to talk to somebody in recruiting that can give you all the options that might be good for you. Anyway, I'm heading home. Going to take a little break. I really like how this has worked out, where I'm going to get to go home for a couple of days and then hit the road Saturday, drive Saturday, Sunday. I've got a Sunday night 11 p.m. delivery on this load, which is kind of different. But that'll set me up to get home by Wednesday night next week, because I do have a special request. Me and my family, some of my kids, grandkids, we're getting together up on the Little Red River in northern Arkansas. I'm going to do a little trout fishing. Maybe I'll try to get a little footage of that just for fun. All right. Later on, guys.